Welcome back to the Demon Slayer Gaming Channel. We're going to be continuing our Final Fantasy XIV Dungeon Guide series today. We're going to be taking a look at Sohm, the second dungeon in the Heaven's Ward expansion. For the first area, you'll just want to pick up the adze and pull towards the Drake Spur and mark this as your first target. The Drake Spur will continuously spawn AoE pollen clusters around the room that if they're hit or stood next to will explode, causing AoEs, so you'll want to destroy it as soon as possible. Once the first one is down, it should open up a path to the next area where there will be two of them along with several other adds. Pull the first group of adds to the first Drake Spur. There will be the typical frontal cone AoEs along with a few circular AoEs to dodge throughout this dungeon. Kill it, and then get the next group of adds with the next Drake Spur. Since the Drake Spurs do not move, it wouldn't recommend pulling both of them together, as you'll just be running back and forth between them while they're constantly spawning additional adds. This will open up the path to the first boss. For the first boss, you'll want to just keep him in the center of the arena. He does do a frontal cone untelevised AoE, so you'll want to keep him facing away from the party. When he casts Acid Rain, after a couple seconds after the cast time, it will put a large AoE under every party member. You'll want to just move out of these. When he summons the Hornets onto the platform, you'll want to go kill those. Whichever party member gets marked with the... It's a weird symbol that you don't really see in most dungeons. This little double yellow circle around that party member is going to get pulled into the boss. They'll want to stand where none of the Hornets are so that none of the Hornets get pulled to the boss also. After the pull, he will do a AoE right afterwards around him that if it kills any of the Hornets, it will give him a damage buff, but you can just move out of it pretty easily. As you can see here, I'm being targeted by it, so I stand in between the two Hornets so it doesn't pull any of them in. For the next area, there will be several adds that do have general AoEs, along with an ad that will be flying in the sky. The one in the sky will cast several AoEs and then land. So you'll want to just move out of the AoEs until he does land, and then pick him up also. Once the dragon gets down to about a third of his HP, half to a third of his HP, he'll fly off. And you'll pick up the next group of adds and proceed on to a second dragon that will also cast several AoEs from the sky before landing. This one, the AoEs will leave behind a crystal that needs to be killed. Whenever the crystal is left alone, it will continuously spawn adds. So you'll want to destroy these ice boulders as soon as they pop down. Once the dragon lands, you'll pick him up, and again at a half to a third of his HP, he will fly off. They are stunnable to avoid pretty much all of their mechanics. There'll be one final pack of adds before the second boss. Throughout the boss fight for the second boss, he will spawn adds. Then he will proceed to eat them, and depending on which one he eats will depend on what move he does shortly afterwards. Whenever he first spawns the ad, it will be 2 Blood of the Mountains and 2 Rooms of the Mountain. You'll want to focus down the Blood of the Mountain. The Room of the Mountain is an AoE that you can move away from everyone so that you don't damage anyone else with it. It doesn't do very much damage, so that's for the blue ad. But the red ad, the Blood of the Mountain, which are the ones you'll want to focus down and kill first, you'll want to stack up on someone if he starts targeting you with this AoE so that you can split the damage. When he summons the second one, the Chime of the Mountain will immediately start trying to explode, so this will want to be your first target. And then after the Chime is dead, then you will proceed to killing the red ones, and then the blue ones after if there is any left. The AoE that summons the ads does do a little bit of damage, so it will need to be healed through. He does eat them in order of how close they are to him, so you can pull him, as soon as he summons the ads, you can pull him towards the blue ads while your team kills the red ones. And this will limit the amount of damage that he gets to do. For the last area, there will be several ads that pretty much all have AoEs that you'll want to watch out for. You just pick them up and pull them together, and then continuously to move left to right, dodging the frontal cone AoEs. Once the ad's dead, the passageway will open up, along with a deep mountain wyvern being in the passageway. After the Deep Mountain Wyvern is dead, a third dragon will land. The other 2 will be in the sky throwing out AoEs. So you just want to dodge the AoEs from the fire one, kill the AoEs from the ice one. Once the first dragon is dead, the previous 2 dragons will land. And this will allow you access to the final boss. For Tiamen, there will be several mechanics you will want to watch out for. Of course, like most enemies, there are frontal cone abilities, so make sure to face him away from the party. There will be a time when you cast Chaotic Blast, which targets one area which does several line AoEs from it, and then does a comment underneath everyone at the same time. So you have line AoEs along with circular AoEs that have to be avoided. When he casts Comet by itself, he will target 2 party members with the green Comet AoE, which should be moved towards the outside of the arena and dropped so that you can move away from them and avoid the massive amount of damage that they do proximity-wise. While this is happening, there will be other AoEs that are just dropping randomly in the middle of the arena. Whenever he moves back to the center of the arena, and his wings start to glow, you'll want to target his wings, making sure to mark one of them to hopefully get your party's attention on that particular wing, so that you can destroy one first and then the other. You'll continue dodging comet AoEs through this entire section. Once the wings are destroyed, then you'll go back to fighting Tealman. This time he'll do a Chaos Blast twice in succession. And for the Comet phase, there will be 3 targets for the Comet. So again, just drag them to the outside of the arena, and then run away as soon as possible to minimize the amount of damage you take. But this should be it for Sohm Owl. Hope this helps a few of you out. If it did, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you in the next one.